Hey there, Moose fans. Everybody enjoying this much cooler weather? This video is going to start a series of videos on some of the new holsters that I have been making. And this first episode is going to be on how I came up with the patterns to do this with. And basically I have made holsters, excuse me, getting late at night again. If you remember my buddy Cowboy in the last video, and I made him a holster, I also made one for his wife Amy. He asked for a special request, so I did. Show you that one. Hers was a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ. That one was pretty easy to do because this is my Smith & Wesson Performance Center M&P Shield. They're the same size frame, so I had something to model it with. I made another revolver holster, well, a new revolver holster for my buddy Dan. He had a Smith & Wesson 442, and it so happens that I was able to borrow that from him for a while, and I used that in making two additional revolver holsters for my friend Diane up in West Virginia. I made a holster for another retired military buddy of mine that I worked with in D.C. We'll call him Lieutenant Colonel Joe, using a Tandy basic kit for what they call a minimalist holster for model 1911 45 ACP, and I got some custom stamps made with the U.S. Army M&P insignia as well as the cross pistols, and I've got those stamped on there. Ding ding. Diane's husband Joey has got a car semi-automatic, and he asked me if I could make him a cross draw holster for that with a retention strap. So these are all videos that are going to be coming up. This one, like I said, is going to focus on how I actually made the patterns. Pattern making, generic, Diane, Amy. Okay, that pretty much wraps up those. And I'll also talk about some other patterns that I've made for, or adapted a pattern to make for Canik TP9SF. And the tongue twisted Canik TP9 SC or subcompact. It's not a complicated process, but it is a trial and error process, especially for someone like me. Okay, I don't have the money to go out and buy all the fancy plastic blue guns to use as models, so I essentially created wooden models. Hey, it kind of got the job done for Joey and Diane's holster. When I was back in West Virginia doing a pig roast for Dad in the spring, and Joey and Diane were there, and they both said, hey, can you make us a holster? When we were talking, I started getting back into it. So I happened to have some poster board with me, and so what I did was I basically traced out the holsters, and you'll see that here later in the video how I did it, and then got a piece of 1x lumber, 12, a 1x12, which is actually 3/4 inch wide. Problem was Joey's pistol had a 1 inch wide slide, just like the Caniks and the Glocks and other things like that. So, you have to work with those kind of things. I hope you all enjoy this. A lot of it's just going to be different photos of the patterns and how I made them. I'll insert a little video like this, but there'll be some narration to go with some of it, and others is just going to be some background music, and you can see how it went. There is an option, if you want to make holsters, you can go and you can buy the acrylic. People that sell their patterns that's already cut into acrylic plastic, so all you have to do is plop the plastic down and trace it out, cut out your leather and go to town. Tandy Leather also sells a bunch of those for different types of things, and I've got some, for like a passport case and a little notebook binder and things along those lines. What I call a pistol rug, or a little leather pistol case. I'll be making some of that. there's all kinds of it out there, but they, just like the blue pistols, they do get expensive. Now, I did buy a set of them from a company called Hellhound Leather. I think I found them either on Etsy or on eBay. To get directed to them anyway, to their website, for Western Buscadero style holsters. Because I plan on making some of those as I go forward. So I hope you all enjoy this, and I'll be back on the back end for sure to talk to you. I'm not sure about in between. So stay tuned. I hope you all are really enjoying this nice cool weather that finally hit us here in South Texas, especially, and farther north you go, the colder it gets. But yeah, this is more my style of weather. So enjoy, folks. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this, again, another candy kit. It's for an inside the waistband small frame automatic holster into a holster for a couple of my friends, Joey and Diane, up in West Virginia. When I was up there earlier this year and did a pig roast, was talking about holsters, they both said, hey, can you make me one? So what I did was I basically took their pistols. Diane's is a Smith & Wesson Ladysmith, and I stand it up vertical, lay it on its side and trace this side, stand it back up, lay it over and trace this side, and then you're going to see how I cut this out. And then I'm going to lay the cutout over this and see what I can do to make it fit. I mean, right now it looks like it's going to be a really good fit for it. The other one for Joey, and I'm still working on this one, Joey, so hang in there, buddy. Joey's got a car, semi-automatic. And again, it kind of looks like as I lay it over here that it will work, but what I have to do is actually get it all traced out and laid over this to see. So I'll be cutting this out. I'm going to be using, this is my little knife set I got from Harbor Freight. Again, get no sponsorship or anything from them, but cut this out, make me into a usable pattern, and then see where I can go from there. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of square this off along the bottom here. And come down just a little bit below where the bottom of the pistol will be. Why are you being hard to get along with here? You know you're going to have to edit this part out, right? It's the little grooves on the edge of my ruler there that was making that sound. So, you know, I'm going to try and square this up a little bit where it can be squared up, and round it off where it can be rounded off, and just to get a, you know, a pretty good idea. Okay. And you don't need to watch me do all of this. I'll show you when I get it cut out what it looks like and what I'm going to do with it. So stay tuned. Okay, this is the pattern for the car. Flip it over here and make it look a little better so you don't have to see my writing inside. And basically what I've done, without spending $80 and buying a blue plastic gun for a pattern, I pretty much now have a viable pattern. And then if I take and I look at this holster right here, and I put this in here like I would want it to ride, alright, you can see that, you know, that would be about the width of it. So I need to extend out this edge right here to a point where you know, I can get my sewing holes in and also to close it up without pinching it. Now I've measured, this is about a 1-inch thick pistol. So if I go a 1/2 inch this way and a 1/2 inch this way, I think I should be pretty good because, you know, unfortunately I can't wet form it. That's my only hiccup right here, is I cannot do a wet form because I don't have the pistol or the blue gun. But I can still come pretty close. And Joey wants this to be a cross draw. So, alright, I can do that. Make it a cross draw. Well, you're going to draw it out like. When you look at Diane's pistol, for the Ladysmith, again, boom, boom, but I didn't use the ruler to crease it quite as much, but you get the idea. It's not as thick. So when I take and I put that in here, it really is going to be pretty close, that I would only need to expand this portion of it right here. So what I'm going to do is get me some more tracing paper, or, you know, cardboard, art paper, whatever you call it, craft paper, whatever you call this stuff, and trace out how I want the final version to be, and then go about cutting them out and working them up. Okay, folks, you remember these? The patterns for Joey and Diane's pistol. I've now traced them onto this sheet of 1x12. Don't know how well this is going to show up, but I'm getting ready to cut them out with my circular saw and go sand them down a little bit. And what that does is going to give me kind of a pattern, if you will, to finish my leather sizing on the temporary pattern and the final. You know, they make, for these guns, they make what they call a blue gun, or it's a plastic. But heck, by the time you buy one and, you know, pay for that, plus the tax, plus the shipping, they're about $90-some a piece. And there's 370 or 380 of them available right now. So that's way the hell outside of my price range. So what I do is, I'm just going to try this. I've never tried it before. So you're going along with me on another journey here. We'll see how it turns out. So, are y'all curious as to how I improvised a pattern to make the holster here for Joey's car? It's a MK40. I thought it was a 9mm at first, but it's an MK40. But what I did was, I was back there in West Virginia, and I essentially borrowed his pistol for a couple of minutes and I traced it out. like this. I laid it down like this, roll it over to this side, trace it, roll it back over to this side, trace it, and so that's my rough pattern. So then, along that seam, we basically scored it, and now I could take a piece of 1x lumber. I had some old 1x12, which if you know much about lumber, that means it's really 3/4 of an inch thick. And I laid this on each side, or on one side, and basically took a saber saw, cut it out. The problem was that the slide width on that MK40 and most of the cars, and you know, like the Glocks and the Canics, is about 1 inch thick. So I had a 3/4 inch thick piece of lumber. How am I going to account for it? Well, what this used to be was a laminate floor sample from Home Depot or Lowe's, I don't know which one. So I basically laid it out over this, cut that out, and glued it on. So now I've got just a hair over 1 inch thick. And that allowed me then to do my wet molding. Now Joey wanted the trigger covered, so the trigger will be covered. He wanted a safety strap. Got a safety strap, and it's set up for cross draw. I tried to do an Ohio State stamp on there, and I mean you could kind of make the stamp out, but it just didn't come out as deep as I wanted it to. I had to play with some other ideas to see about that. Boom. And if you can see it right down there at the bottom, it's probably not going to focus. Let's see if we can get up closer. Maybe it'll focus. Come on. Come on. Anyway, it's a little motorcycle rider. Joey is a motorcycle rider as well. And then I did the double loop stitching on the sides and the bottom. So I'm going to get ready and send all this off to them. Hope they like them. You know, after you watch the video, you know, look back in a week or so and see if they put any comments in there as to what they think about it. For this one for Joey and 2 for... Go. Now, that's better, and I got a dog begging for attention down here, but so that kind of wraps up this video, you know, on some of the holsters I've been working on. You know, it's a lot of fun. Right now, my next project I'm going to be tackling is a whole bunch of homemade dog collars for my dogs. So play with that. I've got some, excuse me, got some more holster patterns that have come in. You know, I like to buy the ones especially where it's cut out of acrylic plastic. It'll last a whole long time, so I'll be playing with some of those in the future. Got some little fob type things to make some key rings off of. So, you know, there'll be more. I got some ideas for some cooking stuff that I'll have some more cooking videos coming on. This just took longer than I anticipated. I wanted to have this video out last weekend, but didn't make it. So now, get this wrapped up. Hope all you guys enjoyed this. You know, I don't drag you through all of the nitty-gritty of each and every step. There's all kinds of videos if you want to see that. But to kind of give you an idea, and like I said, if there's anyone who is interested in contacting me to, you know, find any, or, you know, buy any type of a leather holster, please reach out to me, either in message or, let's see, here. I actually printed up some little cards, and I'll scan that and make that, you know, kind of at the front and the back end of the video here. It's got my email address, loneboostbw@gmail. You can reach out to me that way. And if I don't happen to have the same kind of pistol, you know, or available to me that you have, we can always go this route. All you need, this is just craft paper, you know, school project paper. And I showed you exactly how to do it. Take your pistol, stand it up, roll it to one side, roll it to the other side, trace it, and you can always send that to me, and then I can go from there. So, hope everyone's enjoying these. Winter, we kind of went from summer, you know, like 4 days ago it was in the 90s, and this morning the wind chill was down below freezing here. Actual temperature was in the 30s. And it's going to get even colder tomorrow, so, you know, South Texans are in sheer panic at this point. But so everyone's staying safe. I know there's different parts of the country having some rough weather right now. So this is Lone Moose out for now. Hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all when I do my next video.